Hey, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. My name is Jeff Fritz. It's so good to see you.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Today is January 8th, 2019. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going, pair programmers? Good to see you. GA Progman is here from Leeds. Hello, Yanzer. Good morning, good afternoon to Shy Sharp. Hey, Huffling, congratulations to you. I understand you got a surprise this month. Congratulations. Excited to see more about this project. Well, thank you. Eternal Dev Coder, good to see you. Happy 2020. Ale Franz, hello. Is that Achim Stein? Is that how you pronounce that? Good morning. Kabazi, hello. Yes, look at that. MVP in developer technologies. Congratulations to you. I've got my live share hat on today. We'll see if anybody requests that we open up live share. That's always an option with the channel points that we have available here on the channel. You've seen them. They're the little orange gear right next to the chat room over there, just below Twitch chat. You can click that, and for participating, for being a part of the channel, you get channel points. You get what we call Fritz bits here on this channel. And you turn in a certain amount of them. You can ask me to change my hat. You can change my voice if you'd like. You can challenge me, ask me to change my editor, push me into Notepad or VI, change it from dark mode to light mode, change my font, all kinds of funny things you can do just to shake things up for a little bit here on stream. Zebcode, hello. Been a while. Well, that's okay. You're always welcome to step away if you got the other things to take you away. And we're always welcome folks back with open arms. DVV. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but hello from Russia. Hello to you in Russia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Great to see folks here from all over. Really appreciate that. Work. Look at that. Zebcode. Work. Yeah, I know. That's how I feel sometimes. So, let me get some music playing. Let me talk about the things that I accomplished yesterday afternoon with the project, and we'll jump back in because today I want to get back in, talk about Blazor components, and I kind of forget. I want to go back and relearn and start implementing event handlers for these components that we're working on. This is a project that we're working on to build Blazor components that mimic the behavior and API. It's not binary compatible, but mimic the API of ASP.NET Web Forms, with the goal, the intent to give folks the ability to copy and paste their markup, not necessarily all their C# code, but all their markup, and get it working in Blazor more quickly. It's not a guarantee, but get you there so you've got something that does the same thing and hopefully looks the same way as you had it before. So let me get some music going here in the background. Hey there, musical bookworm. Good to see you. I, of course, play music to code by here on the channel, and today let's play Orchid. It's downloading. Give it a second. There it goes. This is music to code by from our friend, Mr. Carl Franklin, scientifically designed, engineered to get you in the flow, get you focused on whatever that task is that you have ahead of you. Whether it's writing code, doing homework, doing chores around the house, that kind of thing. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com, or you can execute the music command in the chat room and get your copy today. You have the same IKEA chair? Yeah, I've had this chair for a long time. I'm looking at replacing it, and I was approached by a gaming chair company that they offer to sponsor me, but I would have to buy my own chair. And I'm looking at, well, hang on. I don't do anything for free. But we're working on something there, and I really need a new chair. So we're looking at that. Herman Miller is definitely a great way to go. Some of these gaming chairs, though, are very, very nice. And one that I'm looking at, they'll actually they'll stitch my logo into the headrest and the lumbar pillow. So we'll see what happens with that. We're probably a couple ways off. Yep, I'm getting a sponsor to buy my chair. Absolutely. Zebcode. There's actually a code if you look below. If you're interested, I'm a big fan of Gunner glasses. You can get 10% off Gunner glasses if you use my code C#. Check the link just below the video here. You can see more about that as well. Been doing a lot of research in web forms and migrations to Blazor. This looks like it might fill a gap. I agree. A Hofling here says it might fill a gap. I completely agree. This is something that I've been writing a little bit of the book on this. It is a gap that folks will need some help with. You're either going to do a complete rewrite and rewrite all of your HTML and CSS, or we're going to figure out a way to streamline that and make it easier to get over there. Kabazi says, tried something for validations, like to have, and would like to get my feedback. So that Kabazi knows they're on the right path, but thinks it's a good start. So Kabazi has a link for us here. Zebcode picked up some gunners, but sat on them. I'm expecting a package, and the dog is quite upset about something. Give me a minute here. Let me go check in on this. Be right back. Shut up. Okay. Yeah, it's better than this one.
But the demo build is kind of fake too.
What? What?
Well,
Local host. So, I need to teach the dog the difference between UPS and FedEx. I don't understand. The dog just sees a truck. It's not the one I'm waiting for. It's for across the street, and it's UPS.
Oh my.
Right? You need to know the difference between FedEx and UPS. I need to teach the dog better. Brown truck versus white truck. Okay? I'm looking for the white truck. Where's that clip from? Oh, those clips are from 2018 into early 2019. All of those clips. Zebcode would like to sponsor me to show code, but you have to pay me for it. Well, it's like something you did for .NET Nuke. It's cool to see modules work in both .NET and .NET Core. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, Kabazi had a link for us. Here we go. So we'll take a look at that. I have it open here in my browser. Let's go over. There's the code. Rainbows and monkeys. That's a thing. That's totally a thing. Rainbow theme. Oh my gosh, that was from a while ago when we were working on the Core Wiki project. So we're working on, here it is, the BlazorWebFormsComponents project. Let me set the project command in the chat room. Building Blazor components for web forms developers and focusing on event handlers today. There we go. So you can find, let me share the GitHub link there for you. There it is. And there's all kinds of information about where the project is, what we're working on here on the GitHub repository. We're working right now on the DataList component here. These are all the components that come by default with ASP.NET that are beyond just simple input controls. There are other controls available, other components available for Blazor that do very much the same thing. I have a feeling we're going to end up dipping in and providing our own versions of those as well as part of this. But these data controls I felt like were something that was just slightly more complex, but provided a lot of value that we could dive into first. So this is where we've been spending our time. And I started working on, over the weekend, I started working on a little bit of documentation about some of the required changes that you're going to have to make in order to migrate. And very much, in the discussion that I had with you, chat room, yesterday, some of these things we could automate. Could. It's going to take a little bit of work, but without the components in place, it doesn't matter if we automate them. You need the components. So they're kind of the first priority, but that's something that could end up being on the agenda at some point here. Where we left off previously on Fritz and Friends, we had this list of features to complete in order to get the presentation capabilities of the DataList component done. And we had finished walking through the first four here: caption, caption align, cell padding, cell spacing. These are things that you typically set up for a grid that you want to present on screen. I see some messages in the chat room. I'm going to finish reading through this and I'll reflect back over to them. I finished the grid lines and the tab index last night, and the tab index is actually a feature that goes across all web controls in ASP.NET. So I pushed it back up the stack a bit so that it's in our base component and is available for all components going forward. So while the property is available, I still need to implement it in the resultant markup that's delivered from our other components, and we can do that as we go through the process. I want to finish up today on the data list by adding the alternating item style, alternating item template, and this is how you can get that candy striping on your grids. And we want to add the separator style and the separator template to this as well. So we'll add those as well as those properties as well as the rendering that goes with them. And you've already seen I've got a style object that we can inherit to deliver both of these. And we've already got some templating features that we can reuse to do these. So I don't think this is going to take too long to hammer through. Now, before I go over and take a look at what Kabazi had for us for validators, let me take a look at the chat room. I see a bunch of comments here. Let me take a look here. Morzell says, when they were a kid, FedEx, UPS, and similar services were unknown in their country. There's a movie from Julia Roberts where she leaves her weddings. Yes, Runaway Bride. As an adult, you laugh so hard when she chooses the FedEx truck instead of marriage. You're right. You're right. Come on. What are you doing? Yeah. Zebcode says they've been struggling a bit with .NET lately. Oh, no. You don't know why, but you just feel like there's a lot of ceremony involved in building a project. That is a valid criticism for .NET. There is a folder structure you need. There is a manifest file, a proj file that you need that declares here's how to compile things. For a compiled framework and language and tools, there is a lot there. However, I don't think it's too much more than what you see from other similar languages. But let me continue reading. You think it's getting there, but there are so many breaking changes between .NET Core versions. Have I had a similar experience? So when we went from .NET Core 1 to .NET Core 2, there were a bit of breaking changes, without question. When you cross major versions, though, there are breaking changes. That's what happens. That's why it's a major change. And Microsoft does a lot to make sure that the framework is backwards compatible. And the framework is. And a lot of the tools are backwards compatible, and they will give you an obsolete warning when you use things that should be updated and there's a new path forward that is better, faster, and offers more flexibility. Those features are available, and these are things that they want you to consider using. Nothing says you have to upgrade, but if you want to continue support, you do need to upgrade. You do need to keep up with the changes and the evolution of it. It's really hard to get support for a Fortran 77 app. Similarly, you need to keep up. So sticking with the long-term servicing releases is a good idea for production. Absolutely, R.H. Sumner. Kitstead, hello. Morzell says they'll upgrade an ASP.NET Core 1 project to 3.1 next week. It's going to take some time. Those things you're crossing two major versions. A lot's changed. Everything that you did with MVC in the previous version does work going forward, but the way that you launch and configure things now has some optimizations that you're going to benefit from. So, best of luck to you, Zebcode, and we're happy to be here and answer questions when folks have questions, and we can review code, all kinds of cool things. Super Viking
just resubscribed for 6 months, and yesterday was my 5-month anniversary. I guess time flies, or the sub-month just rolled over since I shared yesterday.
The sub-month rolled over. Thank you so much, Super Viking. 6 months. That's going to put you into a blue subscriber loyalty badge. Thank you so much. You get a blue hat there. And we're going to make a donation to code.org. All quarter long, we're making donations for all of our subs, all of our cheers to code.org. And we fell off on our subscriptions, gosh. We're about 50 subscriptions away from unlocking another emote. 17 emotes are available for you in this channel. And every time that we get more subscriptions, we have a chance to unlock more emotes from Twitch that we can provide here on the channel. I have an artist working on emotes, working on a new logo that's going to go on my new chair. When she's done, we'll share those here on stream. Vortex!
Let's add one more.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it, DJ Vortex. Yep, there's another donation to code.org. Friends?
Hey, Mom! We get some meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf! What's she doing?
I know what she's doing. She's watching Twitch. Hey, Mom, good to see you. Good morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. You have MATLAB code. No, I'm sorry, I don't do MATLAB, Shoy. No, sorry. .NET code, C# code, VB code, absolutely we can take a look at. MATLAB code, sorry. Yes, boom boom, JAF 1021 is Mama C# Fritz. So this is where we left off, and you can see if you click through to the Azure pipelines that it was building last night, and it's building quickly, and everything was successful. All these tests are proceeding properly, and if we take a look at the analytics, you could see tests are doing quite nicely here, and it's actually getting faster to run through and build things. So our pipeline pass rate is better. Hopefully we'll make it even more betterer here. So and if I click through here, you can see. No. This one. Tests. There we go. 32 tests now, and they're all running and succeeding properly. So, very cool. Yes, that's right. Fritz Mom, look at that. Those graphs are pretty. It is nice. I like the new analytics features that they've added to Azure DevOps here. Makes it easy to go through, and you can even see, well, there was no release as part of this. It's a preview. But, right, to be able to take a look at the analytics and see that it's taking longer, that it's failing, right? I mean, I like to see that it's accelerating, that it's getting faster at building. So that tells me that we're writing better optimized code. Even though we're adding more code, it's not compiling and taking longer. Got Azure B2C finally configured for Blazor client server. Nice. Morzel asks if WebAssembly fully automation compatible using with a tool like Selenium. That's an interesting idea, Morzel. So WebAssembly is native code that runs in the browser. Here's the thing. The user interface it presents, unless you're modifying and painting things on the screen, like you might with a canvas, and if you're just updating and interacting with text boxes and producing tables and producing an application, Selenium should be able to interact with it. I don't have any proof of that. I haven't tried it, but my guess is it should. It's when you build something that's more like a game, something where you're painting on the canvas directly. That's when Selenium, I would suspect, would have issues with it, doing some automation with it. I agree with A. Hofling. When you have a document object model in the browser that it's interacting with, a web page that it's doing, you should be all right to interact with it. So everything's building properly. Things are healthy here, so I'm going to leave that up. But here's the change that Kabazi has for us. First draft of adding validation. So nice, adding a link to validation summary. Okay. Inside of the component list that's available. So validations. Okay, so we've got a validations area. So an edit form. So this edit form is a thing in Blazor. That's okay. So is input text, required validator. Okay, ASP.NET validation summary. That looks like the tag that you're building here. And handle valid submit. Okay. So this looks like the component that you're building. Validations, ASP.NET validation summary. I like the idea of creating a validations child folder here. That makes sense. I like that. Okay. I don't think we want ASP.NET in front of it. I think just validation summary would be okay here. Yeah. Let's see. Get validation messages, any, if message, get validation messages, message split, and output. Well, hang on. So you're doing a for each. Oh, wait. You're getting just the first bit of the second bit of the message. I'm not sure why you're grabbing just the second bit there. I would want to take a look at that. Current edit context, parameter set. So you're getting in current edit context out of this. Okay. Forward ref. I'm not sure what that is. Required validator. Okay, so here's the required validator. Okay, control to validate. Yes. Okay. Oh, so you're forwarding the reference. I see what you're doing there. Okay. So inside of your required validator, validation message store. Is that something that we have? No. Okay. Yeah, where's that coming from? I'm not familiar with that. On validate, current edit context on validation requested. So you are using the edit form capability to get event handler. Okay. Edit context sender message. Here's the event handler. So you're passing the edit context in. Control to validate current expression body is member expression. Member expression. You get the name of it. Blazor does have a validation. I thought there was. So you're providing a shim on top of it. So that's why we need the ASP.NET in front of it. Okay. I think you're on the right path. My only concern is putting ASP.NET in front of it. I feel like then we're gonna have a standard that we're gonna need to implement if we have just one or two components that start with ASP.NET. We're going to need to implement that on the names of all of our components. We're gonna need to figure that one out. I think you're definitely on the right path here. Do you have any tests that show it? And I like the idea of making it work with the edit form. Yeah. And the required validator is great there as well. Are those the same, right? Are those the same properties as the required validator provided by ASP.NET? Looks like they are. I'm sure there's more. But definitely moving in the right direction. Thank you. Yeah. The only thing that I question is the naming. And I don't understand why it's grabbing the second element here, why you're splitting on the comma. I would need to unpack that and see why it's doing that. I'm sure you've got a good reason. I'm sure you were testing this and you saw it outputting funny messages, and I would just want to know a little bit more about why that is happening coming off the validation messages. So that we the developers of the project know going forward, here's why this is done. So the feedback that I would give you is, can you give me a C# comment here why you're grabbing the second half of the message, so that we understand that. But yeah, there's a bunch of sealed things here we're going to end up wrapping, so that's okay. What happens if a field has multiple validators? Yeah, it's a good point. we're doing a little bit of a PR review. That's right, Super Viking. Kabazi put together a first cut at doing validation summary. I think your required validator that you wrote here. Right, you're actually tackling two controls at once here. We're going to want to put a little bit of information with this as well. But I like the direction you're going. So my feedback is, let's get a couple comments around some of these things. I like that you put the to-do in here about being able to inspect and revalidate if there's more than one validation to be done. Yeah. Good attempt. You need 2 messages for validation, one for summary and one for the validator itself. Oh, so you split them with a comma. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate the work here. That's great stuff. That's moving in the right direction for us. Thank you. So let me go back over to the code that I wanted to finish here around the alternating items. Let's get these implemented, and I'm going to move on to the event handlers for our list view, because the list view is the component that I'm going to demonstrate at .NET Conf next week. It's strange to see spaces instead of tabs. There was no spaces or tabs there. Where did you? No. Well, okay, spaces there, tabs there. I'm not going to get in a twist about that. All right, let me move into this and tackle these. Now, I had to restart everything here. My when I went to start the stream, and why I started a little bit late today, this camera in front of me, that one right there, wanted it didn't want to focus for me at all. I unplugged, replugged it in, reseated it, toggled with the settings, turned it off, turned it back on, all that stuff, and it would not focus at all. So we had to reboot and tinker with it a little bit, and we got it working. Who cares about tabs and spaces once it's compiled into intermediate language? You're absolutely right, Simo. Yes, indeed. Never seen a diff with spaces? Well, here it is. Which then begs the question, I should have an editor config in this project. This is something that always trips me up. I should have an editor config in this project that, because I prefer tabs, encourages tabs. And I've always preferred tabs, but something that sealed it for me, there was a nice essay that was written a few months ago about how, for accessibility, tabs are preferred because you can make the tabs whatever size you'd like. As font size changes, the tab always is that number of, is that amount of space across, appropriate for that individual who wants to view their code in whatever font size. If you like 8-point font, fantastic. The tabs will still work for you at that really, really tiny font size. But if you are vision impaired and you need to code at 32-point font, at 48-point font, and your tab spaces are set to 2 spaces, 1 space, that's okay. That'll work great for you. Where that 8-point font person might have their tab set to 8 spaces. That's okay, it works great for them. Also consider the people who have giant monitors. They're going to have giant tabs as well. So, it's definitely something to consider. Yes! Chris Jones, thank you. That is the link. The real reason to use tabs versus spaces. This is it. I read through this essay and it really solidified it for me. And I get it. I used to have Visual Studio configured to emit spaces when I hit tab. Keeping tabs just feels right to me now when I look at and I read about the accessibility of, yes, it's a JavaScript comment. That's right. So, Mixing them does result in ugly diffs. Yes. This is a learning project. You wouldn't care? All right. But this is a really nice article about why tabs, particularly for a community project where we've all got different perspectives, different localization. Tabs are a little bit easier to adapt appropriately to everybody's configuration. So I should have an editor config in here that has the minimum things in there. And I do have an editor config in some of my other projects. Let me see if I can grab one real quick. I know I've got one in Stream Tools. I might be able to just grab that real quick. Right, there we go. End of line, carriage return line, feed, indent style tab. You don't really need the indent size. But trim the trailing white space and insert a final new line true. And some other things here for how I prefer my C#. If you don't mind, I'm just going to copy this and create a new editor config in the project. I should do this on the master branch so it's just there for everybody. There it is. Let's see, no. And let me change over to the master branch. Make sure I have the latest version. Cool. Let's create an editor config. Yes, please. And put it on the right screen if you don't mind. There it is. Add that. Not gut. Git. Added an editor config. And it should prompt me for my YubiKey. Should. Is it not going to? Because there it is. There it is. Bang. Push that out so it's now in my master branch. Go back to the previous branch. And there it is. That should be okay because, yeah. And now everybody will get the editor config. Legendary Moo gives a +1 for editor config to encourage consistency in an open source project. Yeah, very good point there. Let me see here. There's Frankus has a question. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Frankus has a question here. Let me address this real quick. Thinking about doing an automatic tool for highlight extractor made shots from basketball games. Looking forward to sharpening your skills and was maybe looking for any advice from me. Well, not just for me. We've got a whole community here. We've got a chat room. So chat room, I'd love to hear you chime in on this as well. So thinking about highlights from basketball games, are you looking at creating, so you're analyzing video is what it sounds like, and you want to extract when a basket is made and do something with that. So you might be able to do something with machine learning if the camera is constantly pointed at the basket and you can train it what it looks like when the ball goes through the basket. You might be able to do something, or put sensors on the basket that indicates when the net moves or sees the ball go through the hoop. So you want to put the sensor on the underside so you see it coming down through. You were thinking about the moving net. The only catch with the moving net is if a player swats the net and the net moves because they were trying to block and the net of the basket moves, then you're going to have false positives. But how many of those are you really going to have compared to the number of made baskets? So there's a couple things there that definitely sound interesting. I agree with Zebcode. The sensors would be better, machine learning only when necessary. And I feel like if you were to do machine learning, you would want to have a camera if you had a camera pointed at the basket, right, that was maybe on the back of the rim pointed through the, assuming glass backboards, if you had a camera behind pointed at the basket and you could, right, gauge exactly when the ball goes through the basket, you would get better positive indication of that. But using that to generate timestamps in your overall video of here's when baskets were made. Combined, the combination of a camera on the basket and sensors on the net would give you a complete picture, because I don't think either one of them is going to be perfect. Often a highlight overlay graphic, you could check for that if you're looking at it.
Corey_pizza just resubscribed for 8 months.
Thank you, Piece of Pizza. I appreciate the resub. 8 months. Very cool. They did do some demos at Ignite that used machine learning and cognitive services. Oh yes, for rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. Yes. And that was analyzing and looking at hand gestures. And there are good libraries out there for analyzing hands. But you certainly could do something similar if you have a clamped on camera pointed at the basket. And I'm only thinking because building a sensor to be able to detect that is something. I do like, what was the comment that Simo said? If you're not the one producing the video, if you're looking at, if you're analyzing a sports broadcaster's video, you should be able to get the overlay graphic and see when the number changes for the score and be able to pick up on that and say, oh, a basket was made. But are you going to be able to tell who it was and other things there? There's some interesting things there, but if you detect when the number changes in the overlay, then you could say, all right, clip the previous 5 seconds. What if the overlay goes down? What if the overlay goes away? There's another question that you're going to have to figure out. Don't know. That's an interesting thought. So if you're producing, okay, you're using the TV broadcast as input, then analyzing the video and because that score is typically fixed on the screen, you're gonna have to put into memory, here's what the score was when the graphic went away, and when it comes back, compare, and if it changes, well, you've lost data. But I can't imagine that it's going to go away too much. There's going to be some experimenting there to figure out. Analyzing the sound for cheers. Yeah, there's... I have most of the answers, not all of them, says Legendary Moo. I appreciate the confidence, Legendary Moo. It's a very interesting problem. I like the idea of the proof of concept of just analyzing the scoreboard when it changes and in the video and see where the gaps are from there. Right? Test, right? Build that as proof of concept, test it out, see where you lost data, right? And keep going from there. And I think you're going to have some interesting things that develop. Yeah, the MNIST machine learning problem is about the handwritten digits. It's a classic library that's available to analyze digits. You should be able to analyze and tell when the numbers change. Really, though, you're going to be looking at a graphical part of the video, and you should be able to see when those numbers change, analyze it, and pick up what the numbers are. So the websites with scores aren't going to sync up time-wise to the video. So you're not going to be able to get a good timestamp for the video matched up with the score. You might be able to get the details about who scored from those websites, but you're not going to get the exact time lined up. You only want to use the video input as your source. Yeah, start with analyzing, so then you don't have the ability to analyze the actual basket itself. I would analyze then the numbers as they change on screen. Yep, with FFmpeg, I'm not familiar with Tesseract, but screenshots and OCR to get the scores over timeline, yes. I've wanted to use FFmpeg with this stream to analyze my hats. And our friend, the coding bandit, Carrie, she's done some work with that. I need to talk to her about that and see what goes. Tesseract is what Google uses for their book scanning. Cool. All right, let me get back into the project here. Thanks for the question. That was an interesting discussion there. Best of luck to you, Frankus. It's a top source OCR, open source OCR engine. Nice. So let's get into the back into the project here. I want to finish the alternating item templates and capabilities so we can have that feature implemented and delivered here. So let's see what that looks like. I have a pretty good idea what it looks like. Let's start adding that. I'm going to close this up. In table layout, let's take this simple one here, and let's start with a test for alternating template. Get that working. So the alternating item template. Alternating item template. Right now it's just, the item template for this is just the names of those things. So if I want to make sure that my alternating template is here, let's just do something like this. Like that. And now I can inspect and say, well, is that really a thing there? And I don't want to do it like that, right? I should do it like this. And even then, that's a pretty crummy way to do it. Let's do it like that. Yeah, double equals in front and a double equals at the end so that I can just detect that it's there. Okay. So we should still have 4 TDs. That's laid out just fine. I don't care about testing these other things. I actually don't care about... Let's do this. But what I do want to find is that the alternating item template, I should have one of these. There's 3 items in my sample list. So I should have one that starts with double equals and ends with double equals inside of the TD. So the data list, because this is outputting as a table, every one of the items is actually wrapped inside of a TD element, that table cell element that HTML uses. So if I say cut, that's my component under test. Cut, component under test. I'm going to find all with the TD. And I want to get a count where, let's say C, the cell, dot text content, starts with, oh, this is so good, look at this. Starts with double equals, and the text content ends with double equals. And it's actually a space in between there, so let's do this, right? So that I'm sure that it's that. You don't like my font? What font am I? Oh, we need a font command. Yeah, we can do something about that. Absolutely. Let me see here. What? Pardon me for 1 second. Good. I like seeing that. All right, so that's the end of that test. So there's my count, right? Oh, wait a sec. Forgot a paren. Chat room, you should have been on me about that. So that count should be, not 3, should be 1. If I've done the alternating content properly. Let me run that test and make sure that this fails. Right? I don't care about the past ones, I only care about the failed ones. Show me that it did fail. And... what is that?
Oh my.
Well, I got some build errors because it doesn't know what alternating item template is. That's okay. We'll add that and we'll see if we can get this to fail. But good, I've got it failing. We have a request for me to go to storyteller mode by the Svava Blount. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. All right, well.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yes, it does. Pardon me for a second here.
Oh
I need
my.
to check something. Okay. And I'm going to turn on the ambient sound here as well. Let me change over. Where'd it go? Storyteller. See, Svava really likes the sound effects, the change to the other voice. All right, ready? I'm going to set a 5-minute timer.
Here we go. Welcome back, children, to Code with Fritz. No, Fritz and Friends. Oh, it's very mischief, Hugo. What's it gonna sound like? It's gonna sound amazing. That's what it's gonna sound. Oh, look at that. Alright, hang on. I want to turn down the background. The background music. There we go. It's so dramatic. Now I've got this one. I've also got, there's 2 others. Action-packed storytelling and happy storytelling. Do you have a preference? I like the drama. Here we go. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get back into our code. Previously, we need to fix the alternating item template. So let me address that. Let me add this element. In order for that to be a child element, I need to go back into our data list over here. Here's all the properties we can set. So I have a header template here, footer template. But there's also an item template here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. And it does the same thing as the alternating item template. So I'm going to copy paste alternating item template. Dramatic coding voice. Look at how amazing it is. That's a thing. Sounds like James Earl Jones in a cave. You're not wrong. All right, let's see. Do we have a multi-threading bug to debug that fits the dramatic storytelling voice? No. GA Progman, I will record voiceovers for folks. In about 3.5 minutes, remind me. I did the voiceover yesterday for Rambling Geek, but I did another one about Fritz emergencies. Let me come back to that. We'll do that. So I have my alternating item template, so that means this should work now. Let me run the test, because now it knows what this is. I still haven't written the code to implement the template, but I now have that thing. Let's figure it out. Let's see where this goes. So here comes the test. Here we go. The tension is killing Hugo, biting his nails. I just want the test to run. Is that so wrong? Come on! And what happened? Build succeeded. Did it run the tests? I can't tell. Did it even find the additional test? Now I'm confused. Where'd it go? It is in table layout. I wish you would nest
Oh
this.
my.
I know. Yeah, we need to run all the tests. Do all the tests. Do all the things. Don't give me this not run thing. Do it! Do it now! Jean Valjean, hello. Welcome. And where is it? There it is. That's the one I want to see. So this now says, did not find the alternating. Good. Let's start doing that. So, our item template is over here. I'm only doing the table one first. We'll do the flow layout with spans in just a minute. Another minute and a half on this. I need an overlay that shows we're in a redemption mode here. I need to work on that. So here we go. If items any for each item, so I need to count the items so that when I'm in a even item, we output using the alternating item template. So let's do that. Item count equals 0. Okay. For each item, well, when we're done outputting, let's say item count. And let's see. How do we want to do this? So let's say item count %2 equals, if it's 0, if it's 1. Item template, item, yeah. Otherwise, alternating item template, item. I think that works. And just in time, the buzzer is up. Can I do that? Do I need that? Is that gonna work? It does. All right. Thank you so much, Svava, for redeeming the storyteller mode for 5 minutes. Bool even equals not even. All right, let's do that. That's a little bit easier to manage, sure. Then we can just say, sure, that's clean. All right.
Let me get back over here. Put the music back on. Thank you so much. That was fun. 5 minutes of storyteller mode. Schwami Streams is here. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. You like the voice effects? Who doesn't like the voice effects? I mean, honestly. Right? There's the music. I was going to say, the music's got to be coming back, right? It's here. So, that was a redemption with Fritz Bits with the channel points. Click that orange gear there. See how many you have. And there's all kinds of things that you can cash in and challenge us, have us do some interesting, fun things here on stream. And always happy to have some fun with this. What do I got here? 2? Why did I get 2? I shouldn't have gotten 2. I should have gotten 1. There's only 3 elements in the collection. If oh. Yeah, that's fine. Do it that way. Do it that way. Come on. There we go. Test is successful. So that tells me now that alternating items works when I have a table. First row is even? Yes, it is, because it's 0. The 0th item. Okay. So that does the alternating template in tables. Robert tables, that is. Let me come up here and let's do the exact same thing, but for spans. So we'll call this alternating template. And this flavor, right? I'm going to copy in like that. And the goal is not to make this something that's completely bulletproof, but to make this something that helps the conversion, right? There's things that, yeah, you know what, if we wanted to handle all the errors, we would do certain things. You're right. But we don't want to go overboard with adding features and functionality here. We're providing a shim. So there we go. Oh, so I wanted to show you. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like I broke some things. Oops. What did I break? Let's start with grid lines. What did I break? All right. Go back over here. What did I break? That for each. That's okay. Why doesn't it... Oh boy. I mean, I broke stuff all over the place here. Wait a sec. I should only do this if there is an alternating item template. There are no alternating item templates in these other things. Okay. So if alternating item template, how did we do this for the other component? Because we have this exact same behavior in repeater. There we go. And there, I'm doing the mod approach there. So if it's null, then do item template. Try that again. Make sure we didn't break everything. Yeah, you're right, Kabazi. That was the error. I assumed... oops. Well, that's not going to work. Well, the build succeeded, so it looks like just the test didn't work. What do we got here? Come on. Come on! Run all the tests. There we go. One error. And it's here for the spans for the alternating item template. Good, the one that I was starting to work on. So we need to add that capability here, which it feels like we can do the exact same thing. Let me split the editor, right? So I should be able to... yeah, drop down here into the flow layout version. So there's that. And I'll add the pivot right there. And this should be identical. This little bit. And let's run all the tests. Need to test the test. Yep, and we made sure that the test broke everywhere. So, looking good. No errors. Fantastic. So we've got alternating item template working. Okay. add that. Added alternating item template for, this is 19. Push that out. There we go. And if I'm gonna go over here, I will check that. And this should start building. Right. There it is, building now. Good. Yeah, let me see that pass rate go up here, because we've got some good builds and we're getting better practices in our development here. GA Progman asks, could the copy-pasted code be made into a component? It could. It's a question of how far down that rabbit hole do you want to go? How many? At what level is copy-paste just easier than making a component? I'm not sold one way or the other. So, okay. Next, alternating item style. So we have the concept of header style, footer style. I thought. Wait a sec. Let's go back and look at the data list component here. I need to update the list of features that are supported here. Azure Sharp!
Azure Sharp just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you so much for those 5 gift subs. We're going to make donations to code.org, and Atomic J, Boom Boom, Fuel Snable, PS Eel, and Vishak. Congratulations, you just got gift subs thanks to our friend Azure Sharp. Congratulations to those folks. And they're going to get 17 emotes they can use everywhere here on Twitch. We're going to turn off the advertisements for them. And most importantly, they get to throw emotes at my face. Thank you so much for those gift subs. Appreciate it. Never have to apologize for missing the stream. Take care. Have a good one, GA Progman. So, I didn't think there was an item... Is there an item style here that I'm missing? There is. I don't have item style. There's an alternating item style and there's an item style. Ah, crumbs. Alright, so we need to add that also. Fine. Put these in the right order. But these two should be very much the same thing. I didn't know. There we go. They should be the same thing, just applied to the different tags. Yeah, you get to throw emotes at me and get to try and
Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel me. Right? Oh, I mentioned somebody asked about voiceovers. So I did one. I read Carrie put together something that I read about Fritz emergencies. Yeah, listen to this. Where'd it go? Open that folder. Here it is.
This is only a test. If this were a real Fritz emergency, you'd be hearing about freaking out and panic.
Yeah. But there is no freaking out and panic. Everything is good. Protopoly.com. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Welcome back. So, yeah, I have that sound. We might use that at some point here on the stream. I've got a bunch of these that are hanging out here that I need to drop in and figure out how to use. That I've just been recording and squirreling away. But darn it, I want to
Finish him.
No, I want to finish this. So let's see if we can get the item styles built here. You know what? Separator template might be easy to do real quick. since we're in template mode, maybe we can do separator template real quick. What does separator template look like? And then let's go back and re-implement. So let me go up here, DataList. I'm just going to grab the default here, and let me drop a separator template in and see what that looks like. Hey. No, you're not gonna do this for me, are you? Separator template. Hi. I'm a separator. I keep things apart. Right? I know it's not HTML5, you punk. All right, debug, start. Let's see what this looks like. You gotta keep them separated. Yeah. If separator templates were in more use throughout the project, throughout the things we did, I could grab that clip. Look at this, we're at 9297. When that gets over 9,300 followers, we're gonna run a sticker giveaway, and my car's in the shop today. Whoop, that's not gonna work.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Fine. I thought there was a separator template. Let me show you. It's right there. Did I not spell it right? I didn't spell it right. Darn it! Okay, now it works. Look at that. Hi, I'm a separator. I keep things apart. Hi, I'm a separator. I keep things apart. So let's see what that looks like. Well, look at that. Look at that. Well, hang on. I'm still doing... Let me turn off the columns on this. We still have to figure out repeat columns. That's going to be a thing we totally need to do here. So there's widget list, first widget, tr, td, tr. Okay. So let me do it that way. Yeah, the repeat columns is a thing. Let's open an issue for that, because I don't want to get wrapped up into that yet. Repeat columns needs to be supported and support more than one column for the data list. We're gonna need to get to that. That's an enhancement because it's not done yet. Sure, somebody can help with that if they'd like. It's not really a bug, and I'm not sure it's a good first issue. Let's just toss that out there so we remember it for later. But yeah, separator template is just another TD in here, and it outputs the content of it. Okay, that's easy. We can build that. So let's stop that. Come back down here, and we know what it looks like for a table. I'm guessing it's the same for the spans. I'm guessing. I'll start with the simple one here. Let's call this separator template. So if we add separator template, right? Did I spell that right this time, friends? All right. Copy. Yeah, I spelled it right. And if we make the separator template, let's just make it like 4 equalses. I don't care about this stuff as part of this test, but so there's there's a header, 3 elements, 2 separators. So that's 6 of these there should be. Let's find all TDs. And let's do the same thing. Let's say count, right, where the cell text content equals the 4 equals, right? That count should be 2. But I also want to make sure that they appear in their appropriate places. So now we've just verified that we have the appropriate number of those. How many Fritz bits are too many? You just hit 40K, Sean! You are. That's amazing. I'm impressed. So we're gonna find. So if we find all of the TDs, but we go to, so the 0 with 1 is the header. The first one is item 1 is, this should be the 4 equals, which means then that item 4 should be the 4 equals as well. Now this won't build because I don't have a separator template object yet. Zebcode asks, have I worked with Angular before? Yes, I have. How do I find Blazor compares with Angular in terms of productivity? Let me put that comment up on the screen here so I can answer that a little more directly from Zebcode. I'm a C# first developer, so building and working with Angular felt a little awkward to me. Blazor is a framework that is in the language, is in the tools that I'm comfortable with, so it makes me more productive. Being able to reuse components the same across both client side and server side is tremendous. Angular has certainly got a lot more history behind it at this point. However, framework development wise, the teams at Microsoft that are leading the development of Blazor have a ton more experience building user interface frameworks, and I trust them a little bit more because of their experience building that than the folks at Google who, according to some of the anecdotes from former team members, have stumbled along the way. And that's okay. Everybody learns. But Google is quick. Google as a corporation is quick to make things obsolete. If something isn't evolving and it isn't something they can use, they will deprecate it quickly. And that's the only thing that I fear about Angular, is that they're going to say, you know what, we're not using this anymore, we're using framework foo. We're not going to support Angular anymore. And poof, it's gone. Google has a very long history of doing that. That's the only thing that I would be concerned about with Angular. It's a great framework for JavaScript developers as well. So I've got a bunch of errors there, and it looks like these are around. This is this is a little bit of my formatting here. Delta
just resubscribed for 3 months.
Thank you so much for the resub. 3 months of support. Congratulations on getting a red loyalty hat there. For all the subscribers, you get a little hat badge next to you. We're going to make another donation to code.org this quarter. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to change these to using var. Make sure that these are working correctly. I'm going to take a look across the entire project and say, go ahead and do that everywhere. In all these places, that's fine. Apply, and that'll take care of that problem for me. But I still have in my error list, right? Ooh, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Let me rebuild so that it cleans up some of these things. Cleans out some of these extra files. Yes, I do have my linter warnings treated as errors. That's correct. If you look at my there we go. If you look at my editor config, these are treated as errors. Here we go. So it doesn't know what separator template is yet, so we need to add that. So I'm going to go back over to DataList now, and I will add... Where is it? I need to put it in here as a component, as a C# object here. So, yeah. I'm trying to keep it somewhat organized. So this is a render fragment. It doesn't take an item. And this is the separator template. And I'll go back over to the markup. And for here, so after we have an item, if separator template is not null, we're going to output another tr, another td. Separator template. And actually, that's not exactly how I want to do this. If not first, there we go. First equals false. There we go. Let me move that down here so I have those cleanup methods at the end. So that should work now. It should build properly. Build succeeded. Let me go over to the test. That should build successfully. Build succeeded. And it should run all the tests for me because I have it run tests on build. And we should get it verifying that my separator template with the 4 equals runs. You didn't run any of my tests here, friend. I thought you were running tests. Run the test. Run the test. Do it. Isn't the support of Framework X just disappearing an expected thing in JavaScript? Yes, it is. I'm going to come back to Kabazi's question there in a second. Azure Sharp says, things get deprecated quickly in JavaScript land. Yes, the JavaScript ecosystem do deprecate things very, very quickly. It's hard to convince mega enterprisey customers to take a dependency on something so volatile. Agreed. The published and predictable long-term support story that came out for .NET at Build gets it back into the conversation. I completely agree. Yeah. Azure Sharp shares a link. That's not a face. Way wrong answer there, Azure. But yeah, the support cycle for .NET is very clear. You're going to get support for a long time. Each one of those LTSs has 3 years plus 1 year of transition. So .NET Core 3.1, it actually came out in December, is going to be supported through 2022, and there's a year of transition support available in here, and it's gone in 2023. So, very predictable schedule. It definitely moves things along. But Kabazi has a question here about why I prefer var. In C#, var is strictly syntactic sugar for human eyes. It doesn't force the compiler to do anything. When this is interpreted, this var is turned into whatever type is at the end of here, so that going forward you have that strong type going forward. What that means though for me as a developer is as I change this thing, it'll kind of flow down into the rest of it, so I don't have to think too much about if I change what this object is, changing the type over here. It just kind of flows appropriately there. Zebcode was thinking about using electronize.net with Blazor apps to produce a cross-platform WPF alternative apps. Stay tuned to .NET Conf on Tuesday. .NET Conf, focus on Blazor. I'll be in Seattle, and we're going to talk all about Blazor, and that is a very interesting idea that you're going to hear more about then. I like the way you're thinking. All right. So this works with the separator template. I can check that off. I can commit that I've added separator templates here. So let's do that. Added separator template support for 19. That's done. Push that up, let it build, and we've got more features. Next feature is item style and separator style. These should be easy to do because we've already got that concept. I think we should be able to do this quickly. Okay, let's take a look at this. Zebcode. Very good point here. You've been trying to tell people about using WebAssembly in electronize.net as a solution, but you feel like a man preaching on the street corners at the moment. Proof of concept and minimum viable products showing that kind of thing working goes a long way with folks. We're very much in a show, don't tell me mindset around technology right now. And furthermore, when you get acknowledgement from the project sponsors, the project owners at Microsoft, it adds a ton of credibility to that, particularly in enterprise organizations. Whereas the comment earlier, they're looking for long-term support. They're looking for statement and almost testimony from another enterprise that they trust, that they can say, okay, if it worked well for them, we can do it also, right? Ford's going to look at stuff that GM does and says, well, GM does that, it works well for me. Nissan will look at things Honda does and says, well, if that practice works well for Honda, we'll try it also. And the other way around. These organizations, their staff changes jobs and moves between them. So it's easy for them to rely and say, oh, I can do that too. All right, I think the dog found the FedEx truck. Did the dog find the FedEx truck? I'm not going to trust the dog on this one. I'm going to actually look at my FedEx shipping notifications here and see if it actually was delivered. Otherwise, it's just the dog barking at one of the landscape people. Well, it says on FedEx vehicle for delivery and signature required. Give me 1 second here, folks. I'm going to go check on that. I will be right back. Shut up. Okay. Yeah, it's better than this one.
The demo build is kind of fake too.
What?
Well,
Localhost. I see a waiting for localhost behind me. Yes! Woo! Eeny, meeny, miny. Oh no. I think we've done it. We've updated the application from .NET Framework to .NET Core 3, improved that project value a bit. We dropped out some of those old references to things that are out there. Oh my gosh, and I'm seeing Dole Whip out there. For those of you that aren't watching, look at this. Hope you like Dole Whip. Oh my goodness.
You get to dance, I get to dance.
Seriously, FedEx? That was the most... So FedEx attempted a delivery, heard the dog and ran. And now because their signature required, they're not delivering it. You suck, FedEx, okay? You didn't ring the doorbell. You knocked at the wrong door. No. Sorry, FedEx. Bad attempt there.
Oh my.
Yeah, you know what? And you ran off. You literally ran off. Ugh. I know this because I saw you run off. Get back to me on that one. How's it going there, Brave Cobra? Good to see you. Yes, you stepped away for a meeting, Boom Boom, and you got a sub. Congratulations. Azure Sharp. Let me roll back. This is an interesting comment. Let me roll back here. Where'd it go? It's not going to scroll for me. Is that... There we go. Once did a user group in North Carolina where you talked about using TypeScript to make Angular 1 apps. Ash Caravan!
Ash Caravan just resubscribed for 5 months. I am sorry, you are too American for me.
Thank you, Ash. Let me finish reading this. Use TypeScript to make Angular 1 development easier and how you used it in healthcare client applications. You were basically told you were crazy. Yeah. And now TypeScript with Angular is very much an accepted practice. Thank you so much, Ash, for that sub. I'm going to make a donation to code.org. And I am too American. There was a question, I received a question last night that asked if I could speak at an event, if I'm ever going to be at an event, or if I go to user groups in Canada. Canada, I would love to go visit, but I've attempted to present at events in Canada, and I've been told by speakers by content planners at events that they've already got enough Americans at the event, and they can't take my content. So I've literally been turned away from speaking in Canada because I'm an American. That's the way it is. That was about 3 years ago, and I haven't gone out of my way to... Well, I haven't been going out of my way to find events to speak at in general. But because I can reach a heck of a lot more people presenting and speaking here on Twitch. Canada's weird with content laws. Yes, they are. Yep. They're afraid of an invasion. No, they're not. No. It's actually legalized and discriminatory practice there because of how they want to encourage Canadian culture, Canadian content to be the primary content you find on their airwaves and at their events. That's okay. So... yep. So, all right, let me move on here. So we've got the item templates for alternating item. We've got the separator templates working. The pieces that I want to get into, that we need to get into next. Where was it? This one. I want to get into the event handlers here. So we did the separator template. We need to do these 3 styles: alternating item style, and separator style. I think these 2 are the same, and I think this one is going to be very similar. I didn't write a separator template for over here. Oh crap, did I forget to do separator template for spans? I think I did. No, wait. No. Let me come back up to this. I'm nearly positive I forgot to do this for the spans. So, separator template. I'm going to copy in the same separator template. Doing the thing. Like that. Okay, scroll down, and I've got something like this that I need to do, but over here. So we're adding 2 more to this because we have 2 separators, so that should be 7. And these should be spans. And we need to move these along just an extra 1. I think that's how it works. Let's see. I don't think this is going to work. I think I've not done this properly. Thank you for the follow, Rebinok. Welcome. Appreciate you joining us. 2 followers from our next giveaway. Thank you for tuning in. There we go. So the separator template isn't built. Rats, I forgot to do that. All right, let's put that in real quick. All the excitement with those folks from FedEx. Cheating and dropping and running because they heard a dog. Here we go. Okay. If not first and separator template does not equal null. Span, right? Separator template. And down here we'll say first equals false. And that should correct this. Rerun that. TDD approach. I know. Can you believe it? Unit testing Razor with TDD. It's unreal. There it goes. Ran properly. Got that one done. So there we go. Add that. Added a separator template for flow layout. And that's 19. Cool. At some point we should update our samples so that it shows these features and we can actually see them operating. And so that we can publish and show folks so that they know what this looks. Hey, is it Rebin? Is that how you pronounce that? Or is it Rabin? Let me know. Welcome. You're very welcome for the session. I'm glad you could tune in and join us. Thank you so much. So Serious now asks, can I explain what that test does? Sure. So when this is our friend Eagle's Razor component testing library that we're using. What this does is it allows us to create a fixture, right? A fixture is just a test. We specify the name of the code that executes the test. In this case, I call my method first test, and here it is down here. We specify the component under test inside of this element component under test. What the library does is it will render this content and hand it off to us in this context here. I get that component under test, this thing that's inside of here, by executing this method. And then I can inspect the markup. I did it, I said and then. And then? I can inspect the markup. So I'll look and find the tags that I expect it to render. And then? Verify that the appropriate number of those tags are output as I expect. And then? Well, the number. No and then yet! The widget list that I'm using here, this items collection, I know has 3 widgets in the list. So I'm expecting 3 items to be rendered. I'm expecting 7 spans, because there's an outer span, 1. There's a header, defined here in the header template, 2. I've got the 3 items, there's 5, that are actually in the list I expect it to render, plus 2 more for the separators between items 1 and 2, and items 2 and 3. 7. So I should get 7 of those. I should get 2 separators, my separator I defined here, and those separators should appear as span 3 and span 5, which are the 4th and the 6th in the list that it identifies, because 0-based index. So that's what this does, and I'm able to walk through it. Now, to all of you out there in the chat room that started inventing me as I was going along.
Shut up!
Thank you so much. That's always fun. Oh, gosh.
Oh my.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about what these styles do. And let's see what we can do to output these style capabilities on the item and the alternating item quickly. So I have item type template, I have separator template down here, but there was also item style. And look, I've got all my style features on this. Look at that. Just as I expected. But I also have a wrap feature there. Oh no. I need to make sure wrap exists. Alright. So what if we did, for the item style, what if we said back color equals, I don't know, yellow, right? So I have an item style, and the alternating item style should be, I'm assuming, something simple. Back color equals, I don't know, wheat. I know, wheat on a gluten-free guy's channel here. What the heck is that? And let's make the separator style, let's just say back color equals black, and fore color equals papaya whip. Oh yeah, love me some papaya whip. Let's see what that looks like, and we should be able to take what that renders and looks like and turn it into some direction here. We already have style objects defined. We should be able to just do a quick extension of those, bolt them into our data list, and it should just work. Let's see what happens here. Data list. There it is. So white, wheat, I'm sorry, yellow, wheat, yellow, and there's my separators. No, I don't want to. I want to look at it like this. So here it is. Ooh. I wasn't expecting that. We're gonna have to look at that. But it just put a style on these that has those elements on the TDs. So that's pretty easy to do. Okay. That's kind of what I expected. So let's go back down here. Let's take the simple example and let's create one for item style. Okay. And I already have the ability to do the item styles defined pretty well. So let's do almost the exact same thing we did previously. Let's just see if we can make the background color red. So we should now have, we should be able to say find all TDs where it has the style attribute, but actually that'll be all of them because this is a table and the table has a border collapse. Oh no, that's on the, no, that's, so that count, I don't need the where, I can make that just a count. Should be 3. I should get the 3 elements popping out with that. And I want to find all, and I don't care that it's taking a little bit longer for these. I could optimize these a bit. I don't want to count. Now I want to do the where. Where it does have the attribute style, and the style attribute contains background color, and I Yeah. I know it's applied at that point. I don't really need to go through that too much. So, you know what? I can do that as a count again, can I? Sure. Should be 3. So I have those 3 items, and they're all painted with a background color. Now, it doesn't know what item style is. This is going to fail building because I don't have an item style element yet. Rendactyl! Hello, darn Skippy. We're going to get through here and do this. So I don't have an item style yet, so let me go back over to here. Well, it's kind of like the header style. It's going to behave very similarly. Let me put this next to the item template so that they're kind of next to each other. Know what I'm saying? So that's an item style. This is an item style. And it's a table item style. You know what? I don't have wrap on this. Is wrap on the header style as well? I don't know. Is wrap on here? It is. Table item style is supposed to have a wrap. Let's add that back in. And I think wrap is a Boolean, isn't it? Yeah. We're gonna need to handle that at some point. Okay. MBB.
Moist Booty Boy just resubscribed for 7 months. Oh, so many months. Smile hashtag we did it for the kids.
We did. Thank you so much. All through the 4th quarter of 2019, all of our subs, all of our cheers, we donated to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. You can see the Tiltify link just below me here on Twitch, the Tiltify panel that shows that we donated more than $1,900 for October and November. The December numbers are still coming in, and we'll know, I think it's late next week, we'll do our final donation to St. Jude for our 4th quarter donation. Thank you so much to everybody that participated as part of that. And this quarter, thanks to your resub, we're going to make a donation to code.org. Thank you very much for that. I need to do something with that wrap element. Let me open an issue for that. Wrap attribute in table item style is not implemented. That's pretty clear what it does. That's a bug. We didn't include it. That's not a bad first issue if somebody wants to take a shot at it. There it goes. So if somebody wants to write some code, submit a pull request, you can give it a shot there. Add the wrap feature for the data list. Okay. So I have item style. It's a new table item style. And I need to actually output that. So let me go back into the markup. So if I have item style, I should be able to, just like these are done, right? I should be able to go here, and I'm going to have actually the same type thing happening as this, except for the style attribute. So let's say style equals, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but instead of this being item template, right, this is going to be item style. And you know what? We're going to end up doing alternating item style as well as part of this. Uh-oh, wait a sec. I did the wrong one. Ooh, too far down. Okay. All right, so now alternating, let's implement the same thing with the alternating item style. Wait a sec. That cascading parameter. I don't think it's going to work. don't think that's going to work. Right? Because there's a thing where it receives it. And we do something with it. Do we have an overview of the subs and the consequent donation somewhere? We do not right now, no. There. This thing. Even, this should be... item template. I inadvertently boofed that. There we go. Alright. I need to... Right, I have the razor elements here that actually implement those for the different styles. Right, and they have... Yeah, the component that receives that cascading parameter. And actually does something with it. But where do I actually... Right, this is being referenced where... Thank you. Don't need you right now, and I don't need you. We did that. Haven't done that yet. Working on that. Don't need that anymore. Over here. These ones. So I think I need item style and alternating item style here. Rebanok asks for... Sure. Here's the code that we're working on. There's the link. I should have put that in the project tag. Let's do that. Let me do that. Rats. Hang on. Rats. I forgot the H. There we go. So now we have a project tag that has that. Alright. Shoot. So I need to be able to do this for alternating style and item style. It should just work. Yeah, let me add those components. Add new item. Keeping an eye on my time. I have a hard stop here in about 20 minutes. Let's see if we can do this. Item. I spelled it wrong. Okay. Implements UI style. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with my alternating item style. Okay. Okay. So I need the classes to go with them. Class. Item style dot razor CS, and this will be a public partial class that implements UI style. And if I follow this sample so that it gets the same thing, this becomes item style. Let's call this the item style so it's different. I need to control dot on that. Good. And I think we're in. If I go back over here, alternating item style, razor CS. Make this a public partial class. Implements that style component that we've already defined. And I'm going to call it that, get my cascading parameter, Done. Okay. I think, other than adding... Oh, I need that for separator style too, don't I? If I'm going to do the exact same thing. So let's copy paste that. Ooh, boy, look at that. That's fun. Let's call that separator style, right? And separator style. I need to put the dot razor back in here. So there we go. That implements correctly. Rename this to separator style. And I think I've got it. Must not specify different base classes. I didn't. It's fine. That should build properly. Item styler doesn't exist. I removed that. Let's clean the solution and rebuild. Yeah, why are you telling me this? Why you do this? Hey, Gareth. You got an issue where you can't specify net standard 3.1 apps in a project. The current .NET SDK. Right. .NET Standard 3.1 isn't. It's .NET Standard 2.1. Yep. All right. What was that error I got? Metadata could not be found. Yeah, I tried recompiling while it was compiling. I think I'm okay here. Rebuild the components. Let me see. That should... No. I think I've got my cache here kind of out of whack. Let me close and restart Visual Studio. Because of how it does the linking and rebuilding and testing, sometimes Visual Studio goes out of sync here. Let's see what we get. Restoring packages, ready. Still doing some background loading. Let's build. Yeah, the bin option VS folders could help. Absolutely. Let me look at the error list. Yeah. These are all generated files here. See, and it's still doing a thing here. It was. Let's open the folder and take a look-see. And it opened it on the wrong screen. Get rid of those. And let's force a build. See what it does. No. Partial declarations of separator style. Really? Sure looks good to me. Oh, I put implements instead of inherits. Son of a gun. Rats. There it goes. Now it succeeded building. So now the tests, I should be able to start running through here. They're not going to succeed, but it'll build. So let me get rid of these, because we know what all those things do, and we kind of cascaded down the same things. Back over here. So I should... Build errors my foot. Doesn't know what. Right, we didn't add the properties to it. I thought we added the properties to it. Let me do these. We need item style, alternating item style, separator style, and let's make these a thing. There we go. Separator style isn't defined yet. Item style, alternating item style, there it is. Where's the separator? So I'm going to put the same thing there. Separator. There it is. Right. Okay. And it was telling me that it doesn't know what an item style is? Cascading parameter, there it is. Try that again. Then we're going to need to wrap up here. And I'll wrap up with the test. Well, see if we can implement the test quickly. Which one is this? No. Telling me item style doesn't exist. Yes, it does. I just added it. Really? Oh. Okay. This is, all right, I'm not testing this the same way that I did with the header style up here. Header style needs to appear as part of, yeah, child content. We need to figure out a way to do this. Now that should work. This child content thing, we need to figure out a way around it or something to do with it. Nope. This is because I'm not using color. That should be using static, and now it knows what red is. And I think we've got it. Build succeeded. Yep. Run those tests. I think we've got this. So item style works. And I suspect alternating item style is going to work as well. Right. So I didn't actually output any. It should have. In table layout. Style equals item style. That should have worked. Handle unknown attributes. And it, well, okay, hang on. Those are the, how am I getting the child content header style loaded? I forget how I did that. So it renders this, which picks up that cascading parameter. And it should have put it in there. Right? Which this picks up. Puts into that, which now makes this item style available. Right, where's header style? There it is. Should do it. And this is from the header attributes, so we should be... If I take a look at this... Yeah. So I should be getting back color pass through right there. So let's debug and see if it hits it. And then I'm going to have to bail. It should have gotten this. We should have had it set that color appropriately. Let's see. Nope, didn't even get there. Let me take a look at the header test, because I have a feeling I'm not doing... Right? Header style, there it is. And I had this issue where I had the rendering come through twice. Right, because this does this on initialized, and it never came through on this. Run that again. Can you host Blazor on the server? Yes, you can. Client-side WebAssembly is not ready for production yet. There we go. So let me look at the call stack for this. Yeah, it doesn't say what component I'm in. But there is no style object. Why is there no style object? And that's the only one. Okay. So I'm not passing a style object in. So new table item style. New table item style. It's there. The same way the header style and the footer style are. So, yeah, something's amiss here. Introducing a new element, does the order matter? No. No. Let me see where else header style is referenced in this project. Because I have a feeling I missed something. There it is, right there. Oh, you know what? I don't have the footer style being passed through either. So
let me add some value.
This must be cheered 100 bits. Thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate that. And we'll make a donation to code.org. Thank you so much. This must be Kirk. And Koresha, is that Korea is a god? Welcome. So I need footer, separator, item, alternating item. And we're going to need appropriate closing cascading values on these as well. And let me change this to footer style. Item style. And this is going to be alternating item style. And this will be separator style. There we go. And I think that'll work. I think that'll do the thing for us. because it wasn't passing the values through this. Yeah, it's a nice looking arrowhead, but that's the way the cascading values work. There we go. Build succeeded. Come on, tests. No. Ooh, it only found 2. Is it because we didn't... We're really close. Really close. That's it right there. If it's even its item style, if alternating item style is null, then it's still item style. No, that should have given... I'm not sure. Why did I only get 2 of them? Tell you what, let's go up here. Let's see what it actually looks like. Rendered out. Under our samples, data list. And we need to use child content, item style, and actually if we do this, there we go, back color equals, let's just say wheat. Using static system drawing color wheat. And let's see what that looks like. I can actually just click this one. Okay. It looks like okay, you know what? My meeting was canceled. So we can keep going. Yay! Alright, so that didn't do anything. Oh wait, I'm at a breakpoint, that's why. Breakpoint! So it did hit the style. And I am getting... whatever. There it is. So that... why didn't it render it for all of them? Even though I'm not using an alternating item style. If it's even, output the item style. Otherwise, if alternating item style is not... oh, it's not null. Because it, by default, has something. Let's try that. Because if it's just the default object, drop through. Run this, and... nope. Still got 2. Well, actually, you know what? I don't care if there is... if there is no alternating item template, which feels weird, then drop through. There, okay, that worked, but does it work when we have an alternating item template, but we don't have alternating item style? Let's see what happens. I'm going to run all the tests now. I see your question there, polycyborg. Let me flag that. Here we go. Build succeeded. Did it run all the tests? Yep. Didn't break anything. Okay. So I need to now do separator item style, which is going to be up here. Style equals separator style. And I think I'm going to do the same thing that I did here down on the flow template. Let me put together a test for the flow template that it does the item style appropriately. No, I didn't want to copy that. Let's start here with this, and I'll rename that to item style. And I want to do the exact same thing that I did with this one, but over there. So add that. No, I didn't want to select that. Put that in there. Good. And my tests are going to be these, but instead of going against TDs. Thank you for the follow. 4E6. Welcome. Okay. So instead of TDs, because this is flow layout, we use spans. There we go. So I'm looking for spans with style. And the spans with style. With a background color. We should find 3 of them. So that should work now. Nope, doesn't know what that is. Rerun the tests. And it should come back and say, okay, I don't know what these things are. I'll copy the things down, make the item style work. And there we go. Oh, I forgot the using. Using static system drawing color. There we go. While that's running, I'm just going to move right into making this thing work. Right? Here it goes. Yep. So we didn't apply any. Good. So the style that we're going to apply for the span is that. Good. And if there's a separator style. Interesting. I don't have a class, an item CSS class. So basically, we're going to give those spans some lit sunglasses. Absolutely. So rerun that test, and it should work now. We should see that go away. Good. Rerun all the tests. Make sure we didn't break anything. Did we hit 93? Look at that. It says 92.99 here on Twitch, but I'm going to go with the 93. And I will check in our code there. Yep. All the tests ran. We've got, where'd it go? Oh, not that one. Here. And we've got the last of these styles implemented. Fantastic. Let me check that in. Kick off the build. Right, look at all the style items that we added. Git commit. Added item style, alternating item style, and separator style and that should complete the data list. So there we go. Push that up. This should kick off a build in a second here. There it goes now. And we should see that run through successfully. It's all queued up to run. Love continuous integration. Love it. While that's running, yeah, we're going to be giving away some stickers here in just a minute. Does anyone know how long it would take to build a CRM with only one person working on it? Years. Yes, I can use git commit am to add automatically, but it won't add untracked files. It'll add the files that are currently being tracked. Not just continuous integration with tests. I know, it's a thing. It's totally a thing. I can't believe we're doing it. Come on, finish building.
Flawless victory.
That's what we're looking for here. Come on, give it to me. Yeah! Yeah!
Everything is awesome.
All right. Let me come back to the question that was posted by Polycyborg. Switch from package conf to package references, and you were using NuGet config to have a central packages directory. Now, after doing that, you get an error in your CS proj file that the target framework doesn't match net 4.5. I don't think net 4.5 works with package references. I could be wrong. I think you've gone a little bit too far back. And net 4.5 isn't supported anymore. Let's start there. So, my guess is going to be, without seeing too much of your project, when you convert from a package config, you're going to lose the packages folder. And yeah, you need to upgrade your tools. You're in a very old version there. Tell that to your boss. He doesn't care. Well, okay. Then you don't care that you're not supported. Then you don't get the new feature. Sorry. So. You need to use NuGet config short-term and long-term. You need to go to .NET Core. You don't need to go to .NET Core. You need to upgrade to one of the supported .NET framework versions, and that'll be, I believe, 4.7. Which versions of Microsoft.NET support? I think it's, I forget which versions are currently supported. .NET official support policy. Dun, 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 dun. There's a grid that tells you which one is. Yeah. Which ones are supported right now? Which ones are supported and when does it end? The support lifecycle can be found on the Microsoft Product Support Lifecycle page. Here we go. So 3.5 is done. You're on 4.5.2 is now there's this thing. They've completely obfuscated the information about this. So, and why isn't 4.5 listed? There it is. 2012 support ended in 2016. Yep, ended in January 2016. Recommends customers upgrade to 4.5.2, which puts you back up here. And now, because it's shipped with a Windows OS, you're locked into a version. So you need to at least get to 4.5.2. I would strongly recommend you get to 4.8. Strongly recommend. You use .NET Framework 4.6.1. 4.6.1, you're on a Windows lifecycle at that point because it's shipped with a Windows 10 version. Get to 4.8. It's going to give you you're gaining 4 years of support just by doing that upgrade. So Okay, so we got everything pushed out. We got everything updated. We completed this. I'm gonna merge this in, and I'm gonna release 030 of the library, of the thing. I'm gonna do the thing. Let's do this. All right. Let's ship some code here, friends. And then we'll give out some stickers. All right. So let's do this.
Danger's my middle name.
Not really, but so I'm using NerdBank Git versioning here to manage all the versions of things. So I'm going to go NerdBank Git versioning. I'm going to prepare release, and it's going to create a release branch from the current version and adjust the version on the current branch. It should do all of that for me so that it creates a version branch, pushes the version number forward, and I'll be able to push that out. So I'm going to say prepare release. There we go. 030 track now tracks stabilization and release. So if I need to release a patch, I have a branch that works with that. And now we're on 040 preview development. I'm going to push that up. But that's not the branch that I'm going to release. I'm going to check out the V030. Push that one. Right, that should git push origin V030. And that's the one that I'm going to pull request into master. No, I'm going to pull request in. Crap! Wait a sec. The prepare release forced it cut this branch, but the feature data list branch is on 040. I can't merge that in, nor can I merge in the 040 and force my next preview branch. So I can't use that. No. I have a pull request. For validations from Kabazi. Very cool. I think we'll take a look at that next time. I can't merge that because if I rebase and merge it in the 030, if I merge this, then it diverges from, yeah. That feature data list is dead. I can't use it. Even though it has the 040 preview. Yeah. So this is the one that has the stabilization in it. Right? So version is set. I'm going to do this merge. Completed data list minimum viable. So read only support for data list. Alright. And it also doesn't do the columns yet, but it's a minimum for this so far. Cool. Squash and merge that into master, and I don't want it to delete. How do I prevent it from deleting the branch? Yeah, see, it's still running the test here. Because if I just squash and merge, it'll delete it. it's not. I want to do it out here on GitHub because I've got, right? Do all the things here. I could do it all here locally. That's still running. Come on. Do the thing. It's got a work item linked? How to do that? There we go. Test pack. Yep. Good. And here comes the release. It should do the release. We should see that. Push. Well, no, wait. No. That's not the release version. Because it didn't actually get into master yet. So now, squash and merge. Right? And I mean, I could include this list. Do it. No, I want that branch to stick around. I thought there was a preference to say don't delete these things. Okay, so now it's merged into master appropriately. I want to delete the feature branch out here because that's done. And I also need to tag master, right? Because it never created the tag. Excuse me. Pull. Say. And that 030, because I squashed and merged, actually diverged from master. Oh, it's so confusing. Why isn't this just... There it is, 030. And it should be running that release. There you go. Completed DataList MVP. Look at that. And the pass rate is going up. And if I click through to that, there's the release. And it's publishing right now to NuGet. Fantastic. So, yeah, see, now I've got, if I get pull, right, 030 diverged now. Because it's got the full collection of, see, I need to rebase 030 on top of master. Right, I need to check out. Yeah. So let's check out. No, I want to just delete it and re-push it. And the featured data list branch here, I want to delete altogether. This right here.
Oh my.
Gone. I feel like I need to delete 030 as well. Right? And that should, yeah. It deleted the origins. But I can, at this point, so that I have the stabilization, okay. Git push origin. What? Yeah. Oh, because because the branch name and the version and the tag match. Excuse me one second. Release tagging mess. It is a complete mess. Right? Tag, checkout, merge, branch. Yeah, thank you. No, I don't need this branch. Because I have the tag. I could create a branch off of it if I need to. So, let me go back to master. Get rid of that. And, right, when I build my next branch, I can force the version number. Right? But I'm not starting on a 040 yet. So, I don't have any branches here. Just the master branch. And 030 was pushed. Cool. So next I need to start working, well, let's start just, I'm not getting to it today. I wanted to. But this would be the list view events. And we're going to need to work on those. So now, if I go back into this, and I want to force the next version. I'm not preparing a release here. The next one's going to be 040 preview 1. Cool. Now I can do a commit AM. Set version to 040 preview 1. Push origin feature list view events. Cool. And that'll start tracking, building. It's not going to build immediately here, but I've now got, there it is, for where we can start next time to start adding the event handlers. I thought we would get there, but I had missed a couple things. We've got it wrapped up, and it's doing the right thing now. We crossed 9,300 followers. Let's give away some stickers. Always happy to give away stickers here on channel. I need to mail them out. I need to get to the post office. I've got a bunch in the hopper here to send out. That feature branch now is the 040 preview version branch. Yes, it is. It is now. If you're in the chat room and you'd like to win some stickers, exclamation point here will get you in the giveaway. There you go. We can see some names popping up there. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. Let's go through. Let's get this. Yeah, let's give away some stickers. I'm always happy to do this. Love doing this. Oh my gosh, look at all the folks that are subscribed. Wow. Thank you so much. We'll take a minute and let people get in. No, it's not rigged, Stelzy. No rigging. We already broke the bot. Look at that. It's interesting that it doesn't, that the bot just kind of chokes on that. It's interesting to me. All right, how are we doing? Anybody else want to get in? Anybody else want to win a sticker pack? A bunch of stickers, a bunch of the emotes that we give away, that we have here on stream. We've got 24 people in the mix. Let's do this. Let's give away some stickers. Here we go. Round and round it goes. And we're going to send some to GG Feds. Yes. Congratulations. And I will mail out the stickers. Almost Eternal Dev Coder. There you go. GG Feds, congratulations. I just dropped you a quick line. Respond to that, and we'll get those in the mail. Hopefully sooner than later, because I have a bunch of these backed up that I have to send out. I think I have 3 sticker packs and a couple other goodies to send out. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in today. This was a lot of fun. We finished our DataList component. We didn't get to the new event handlers for the list view, but we're going to get to that next time. And because I need to have those done for .NET Conf next week. .NET Conf on Tuesday. I will not be broadcasting on Tuesday because we're going to have a full day of Blazor teaching and knowledge for you. You'll find it hosted here on this channel. It should also be syndicated over on the Visual Studio channel. We're going to make sure that's all available for you live right here on Twitch. Let's set up a raid. Let's see who we can raid. Let's see who we can send folks over to. Are you kidding? Twitch.tv, let's see. And let's see who is out here that would be fun to raid. Oh my gosh. You know, we haven't raided in a while and is broadcasting right now. Thank you for the raid command, Hugo. Let's raid our friend. Where to go? Raid. We're going to raid Code Rushed. That's Mark Miller. He's over there writing some code. He's even got his co-host Fred with him. So tune in, copy out the raid call if you're there. If you're going to stick around right here, if you're a subscriber, copy that. If you're not, that's okay. Copy this line. Get ready to announce our presence when we get over there to see Mark. This video, like all my other videos, this will be available over on the YouTube channel. Probably next week we'll get it loaded over there. Otherwise, you can find it right here on Twitch. Take care, everybody, and say hi to Mark for me. I'll be back tomorrow. See ya.